We are coming to the close of week 3, and we had a woman named Mia. This seems to be a fake name, a sort of pseudonym, testifying on Thursday. Now, she is another alleged victim. Per the live updates reported by the New York Post, Mia and Cassie Ventura and Diddy were on a trip in Parrot Cay in 2012. And Mia says she was awoken by Cassie one night, and Cassie was, quote, running and screaming. Mia testified that Ventura said to her, "You got to help me. He's going to kill me," meaning Diddy, who was then going by Puff Daddy. And then Mia said she never reported to the cops any of these incidents. She witnessed multiple with Diddy because, quote, "I thought he was above the police." Okay, that means that I interpret it as she thought he had deep connections to the cops and not just the NYPD. I'm going to guess LAPD, Miami PD, wherever he was most constantly throwing these freak offs. It seems that people in that world knew the level of danger, frankly, that he posed. Now, what also came up in testimony, Prince, the late, great Prince, who hosted an exclusive party. It was probably after an award show or something. But anyway, Mia and Cassie snuck out. They snuck out. I guess they were living with Combs at the time. And what also came up in testimony was that any of the women who lived in his residences, like his staff, his assistants, what have you, were told by Diddy per testimony that they were not permitted to lock their bedroom doors. Okay, and as a woman, there are few things more chilling. That is a man telling you he owns you. Okay? And if he wants to do something to you, he's going to do it. Meanwhile, all the men who worked for Diddy and who were in his employ, who lived there, were allowed to lock their doors. I believe one of them at least had like a deadbolt, and another had like surveillance cameras and maybe weapons. I mean, they all knew. Okay. So anyway, Mia and Cassie go to this Prince party, and Combs catches wind of this. And you can imagine he rushes over there. He finds Cassie at this party. He throws her to the floor. And it was Prince's bodyguards who got Diddy off of Cassie. Okay. There was more testimony from Mia that she tried to stop another Cassie beating. Diddy had like thrown her. It was another one of like throwing across the bed. We saw an image provided by the feds of a deep gash above Cassie's eyebrow, like a deep gash. And so Mia says she tried to intervene, but Diddy, quote, "He threw me against the wall so quick and so easily, I realized we were in real danger." This is really terrifying stuff. There was more testimony that he had beaten, I don't know if it was Mia or another woman, really, really viciously inside of his closet. Metaphor of all metaphors, because word in the hip hop community, lo these many years, is that Sean Combs is really a gay man, and would explain all that rage towards women, but that he beat, so it might have been his assistant, Capricorn Clark. These names are just like crazy. Anyway, the Post was reporting that she testified, I guess this was on Tuesday because this is their Wednesday edition, that he took her to Central Park in the dead of night, and that is a terrifying place to be. New York is not what it once was, trust me. On her first day working for Combs, reading from this article, Clark said he took her to a deserted Central Park after dark and threatened to kill her over her links to his rival Suge Knight, who managed Death Row Records, who's also, I believe, still behind bars, a very, very dangerous guy, Suge Knight. She told the jury that Diddy said to her, if anything happened vis-a-vis Suge Knight, he would have to kill me. Also, after Diddy found some valuable jewelry going missing while Clark had transported them, she testified that one of his henchmen came to her home and, quote, brought her to the empty Midtown, I don't know what building this is, an empty Midtown building where a heavy-set man chain smoking cigarettes and drinking black coffee. I mean, it's right out of the mafia. Like Sean Combs has seen too many episodes of The Sopranos. So this guy smoking and drinking black coffee greets her on the sixth floor. He said, this is her testimony. If you fail this test, this polygraph test as to whether you stole this stuff or not, they're going to throw you in the East River. Okay. Now, according to this report, Combs is hearing this testimony in court and he's shaking his head. He's just a guy with a Bible. He doesn't know how the fuck he got here. Clark described the wise guy threat leaving her, quote, petrified. I was told I was not going to be able to leave until they got to the bottom of this. So her life has been threatened directly, and she's supposed to take a polygraph test, which measures the truthfulness of what you're saying by your fucking blood pressure, by your heartbeat. The other stuff that came out, Capricorn Clark also testified that Sean Diddy Combs, again, threatened to kill Kid Cudi, and he came to her apartment where he had apparently never been before with a gun in his hand. He was livid because Cudi was also dating Cassie. And he said, quote, get dressed. We're going to kill this N-word. She says he'd never come over to my house the entire time I'd known him. I'd never seen him with a weapon. Do I believe that? I don't know. And then her testimony was very strange. If I recall correctly, he had this enormous gun. He's like, you're coming with me. You're coming with me to kill this guy. She has to get in the vehicle with him. But I believe, according to her testimony, he made her sit on his lap with the gun. It's all very, very strange. And then this is my favorite detail. Okay, these details, it's all in the details. So, the alleged firebombing, the Molotov cocktail that was tossed into Kid Cudi's Porsche, the problem with that failed complete. That was supposed to really just go up like a firebomb. Apparently what was used was a silk handkerchief. And, just note to Diddy for the next time, when you're going to hurl a Molotov cocktail, silk is not your material because it doesn't catch fire. You want something flammable. This is what happens when you enter the 1%, because you're not like fucking shopping at H&M anymore, and you're not buying materials that are synthetic and highly flammable. You're at the Hermeses of the world, and you lose touch.